Ingilangan biki kamay mani inay
igilahu ragu lamona kukigo umiak pang nigilo umiura nigilo igilahu ragu tamona kukigo atawo ragu Atakap nung anihakak tiguta bird camp ko nakakakaw na kutaytsura kudlo anihurat umiakpach Anguniarvik kami takpo ni tutunigilo honig na kisiramiginik pikaming haliginigilo hilibili
Huwag nakiingilangan miki kama tapkamungulagot niya ako na may
kilaluwa ka niya kahot
hiya
tapkamo na hinusot
tayo niya koting ilakana ahin ilan ni magtay hutlok ka ay akarawin mo tibligit iningin yun ahin ay mga kutinan mani at siya niya koting hundi ako
siya niya ako sa Baktel kaya ni kami, mipkul kaya ni kami, tutkok tuyo kakoting, buwak tuyo bili, kwa kanigilo pukuk tuyo ako.
Di ka tayo maningil ang account, wila ka nirehulagot nun namin.
Okurun nakita kwakat iliwa halu kililabulu.
Yeah. Ulo pagkahin adlangok to ka.
Yeah. Pukot pulik tigut. Pukakan kanokan niya.
Magkotyo kilaluot
Iyang.
Akaw nita kaya. Tapkod. Ahe niluni mipko niluni pishi niluni tayo na pihugat alakiriyak dugutan.
Yeah, iyang it kilitanik imihukan okorol sa dugi. Yeah.
Ulo pagkahin alang mo pelak dugutan.
Yeah.
Man nakiun na nunakput alang mo pelak tokta.
How pa yun yan? Dukang ano magtikilyak pa yun.
Inna nunakput ni alangak.
Yeah. Imi pihukatak tunin ito maga imak huiwak hilaktok how pa yun nunakpuda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Di ka ba kaya yung ang kapta ulo pag magkotok Inuit kay mata. Aullaviat Anguniarvik pimadong.
Yeah, Anguniarvik tikinyap tigo kanot Quyanaq TV. Inuvik tikino takat igilaw kami kanot Quyanaq TV. Mumunaw tinakakota.
Yeah. Ako kapta.
Ay. Kumaptingin nyo nila. Malito alrewod no takam. Sutik chawat. Piyong chawat. Kanit kahit kaya niyakatit. Kanit tayo Quyanaq TV. Hali ka kukiyok paktuan.
Inuit kanhud madam Inuit. Kaya doon tadi ka.
Yeah.
Langit mga light shooting ilangan mga
mga tikit katalakot mga keulay shooting ilangan. Ilit kakawili mo ano na.
Yeah.
Kuwilit kakawili.
Adlang uperlak tut kukuda.
Yeah, ikala kakawili. Ikakawili. Aday mo umiyak pa na tao. Atakorot. Ataan mo ni Gilagor.
Tara, kemit hamalak ka tamaga. Inuit tagpaman eh.
Nakapira. Sabi ka.
Ubula po kahit. Hukay hura ako na Gilagor. Ingilangan. Ubula po ko. Akala ko maungalik dito. Kinaba ka na pala ko na.
Kailangan kikisiwirak. Hari ako yan ang kanayakati sa mga tikiriro.
Wow, kuni kaya huktung at Qaikaffi. Kapaduktu ko ba adi nga?
Nellie Arey. I really I never raised up in Aklavik. I was raised up with my granddad. But by springtime, they used to just bring me up to my dad and my mom and them. And summertime, he'll pick me up and go back down.
Your dad?
Yeah, my dad.
Who was your dad?
Paul Kayotak, and my nana was Mary Shokpak Kayotak. And my mom and dad is Sarah and Jonas Miyuk. My dad was from Alaska. They're both from Alaska, and I never really catch my nana grow. That's how I started raising with my granddad. My dad, I stayed with my dad and my auntie Tiva since I was small. I was just a baby when I was there, when they took me. So that's how I really raised up with my dad. When I started remembering, where we were traveling, And we used to have lots of dogs packing, and the people's packing, and we walk up from Quyanaq to mouth of Firth, and that's what they used to do with us every spring. Like in May, he started letting us walk up. Everybody walks up, and we go around First River. It takes us about like maybe, take our time, takes us about like 4 or 5 days to reach where my dad is going to go. And I know sometimes it gets so much animals, and you just got to watch where you're going. And that time was no trees, no willows, just flat where we're walking. Now it's just covered with trees and willows where we used to walk. Just covered. Cause I go to Sheep Creek every spring in June. It's really different. It really changed.
So it was almost like tundra then.
Yeah.
Like moving.
Now it's a time when we used to go up, never just flat. You could see all over. Everything. Now you can't. Right now you can't.
And it's like
and the water, no water's really dry up. Right at Sheep Creek, that creek is really dry. In springtime, you could go so far. When the water go down, I could go across with my rubbers. Nowadays, it's so changed.
It's deeper and dangerous?
No, it used to be, well, we never really used to cross rivers when we walk, but if we're gonna go across, somebody will go across by the shallow place, look for a shallow place to make it across, and they will tie rope across, so we could use boat. My dad's boat is at Sheep Creek, the one he make. I have my dad and my dad to make that boat with the young trees. Used to make paddle with young trees. And my dad used to, just teach us everything when we were young.
And back then it was walking.
Walking.
Yes.
No skidoos, no nothing, just walking.
You remember those? Oh.
That used to be good. I used to like that. And now you could go through bushes now, not like long ago. It really changed these years.
Yeah. Tough. A little tougher back then. Plus,
oh yeah.
I like how you mentioned that things really changed from when you were young to what you're seeing now.
Yeah. It really changed.
What other changes can you think about from then?
Well, the water too is really, is really down. Long ago when we used to go, when we were going to go across, they used to let us go across by the ropes and that. And now, I don't think anybody ever go across unless those rafters. Because we raft down once from Sheep Creek to Nunagijavut. That was a good trip.
Tell me about that.
Me and Annie was in there with about 8 or 6 kids from here. And we left from Sheep Creek, and we go so far, and we don't go, we just camp, maybe not even where we used to camp when I was growing up. That's why we always camp. And one day we went up hiking. We always hike, and we were running around, and I found my sister's grave right where we used to camp just above it.
Your sister?
Yeah, my sister Laura. I find his grave, but I didn't find that baby, newborn baby. I didn't find that one, but I found my sister's one. It was me, Annie, Mervyn, and I don't know who else we were there. I mean, that was good. We just fixed it, and that was...
You got to visit?
Mm-hmm. That was a good trip. Boy, it was a good trip. I just loved that trip, man. I just enjoyed it, you know, how we used to camp. I just could picture my dad do everything. Like, just teach us what to do, and...
There was no time restraint. You didn't have to be anywhere.
No.
You were there in that moment.
Yeah. Every day. Morning to night, just, you know, that time we don't know how to get tired. We just go steady. And my dad and them used to come, but it was high water. We could see my dad across the river, but he can't go on that side of us. Can't come to us till the water go down. It was so high water.
So you guys were communicating across the river?
Mm-hmm. We could see him. Nowadays too, that river really changed. Some places it really get white because it was just, you know, not really white. Now it's just white. Everything changed.
And that's a part of our climate warming?
Mm-hmm.
It's a part of our animals changing?
Everything changed.
And your granddaughter, Desiree?
Mm-hmm.
And she traps?
Oh yeah, she just loved trapping, that one. He just loved trapping. He do, in March we go trapping. I don't know how it's gonna do it because it's babysitting right now, and I told him if we're gonna go trapping, he said he might just leave his sister's baby to his auntie. So he probably go in March. He just loved trapping, that one.
And from when
he could skin wolverines, wolves, and foxes, and he wouldn't skin muskrat. Right now, you know, every spring it changes. Every spring. Honestly, some of those lakes, you know, we get so much push-ups, and you could go through push-up. You'd be lucky to find about maybe 6 or 5 with water. So much change. You know how after it freezes, when the water goes down, that's when it really changes. And you really got to watch where you're going. Nowadays, you go to the lakes, some of the lakes, they don't freeze, just lots of air holes. You just got to watch where you're going.
Back when you were doing this, wasn't the thing you really...
No, never used to be like that. Now you just got to watch where you're going. That's why those kids always, you know, before they do trapping, they make trail, make sure with no sled, there maybe 2-3 skidoos, they go first before they start setting traps. And they just know where the air holes are. So that's how those Logan and Desiree does. They really watch where they're going now. It really changed, it's really dangerous. And some of those lakes are just dry. Completely dry. Yeah. It was so warm. Just what time we were at the camp? November. It was pouring rain. We were down there. It was just pouring rain. Babe went out about 2:30, I think. He said, Nan. I said, what? It's really raining. So he went out and covered up the skidoos because they know they're going to freeze. So they covered them up and in the morning their covers were just wet, stiff, frozen. 2 days, just about 2 days. Well, when we went down, you go down to the river, you know, in springtime there always be water in the shore. That's how it was at the camp. They were walking in the water up to here while they were fishing. My dad used to teach us how to hunt before we go. He talked to us. How far we're going, how far we're going to travel a day. And one time he told us when we got to the mouth of earth, and you know, we always dig in the ground and tie the dogs, because you can't tie them in the willows or in the little trees. And sometimes there's so much caribou, and you just gotta watch your dog. So we used to dig in the ground and put a stick down and tie our dogs and put rocks on top of them. In the mouth of earth, to this day, you could still see where we used to camp, those rocks. We were down there with Chopper maybe 5 years ago. We seen them right there. I was so happy, you know, just to see where I used to go, where I used to travel. I just enjoyed that trip. I just know where we always camp, and that time we used to just, you know, we don't have rubber boots. My dad used to make us moose legs. He don't skin them, he just pull them down. He just sew them in the front for waterproof. That's what we used to use for rubber boots, me and my brother Jimmy, my auntie Jiva. Should have had camera, we could have taken pictures. Never think of camera. Sometimes it was about like maybe my auntie Annie and them, their family. Sometimes they're followers, but they don't go where my dad goes, and they always turn around. And we start going back from Perth to when we start walking back down, because we got to do fishing and seals. We used to hunt seals and fish before winter. So my dad used to take us back down like in end of like in July, we go back down, and first week of August, he used to take us back. And we used to have Katie Rowland and Roland, and they used to stay, because we used to stay in Ptarmigan Bay, and we go for hunt seals at Turtle, and fish, we fished a lot, and they just put them in the ice ounce so they could stay frozen, don't spoil. Because we got big eyes out, just about big as this. And they make a place to put fish. We don't lay them down on just on a mud where there's logs and willows inside, little ones. That's what they do. They just don't put them down, and they're just pretty good. They used to be pretty good. Clean too, you got to clean them all the time. Well, my dad we used to stay really at Ptarmigan Bay. We used to have house there, but we still have like seals and fish at Turtle. Because they're stored up fish, and fall time when it gets cold, they just leave the seals, on top the locks. So that's, for dogs, because we don't have skidoos or anything like that, we just use dog team. At least about two teams. All year we used to fish and seals or caribou. There used to be quite a bit of caribou too. Right now, if you go to Herschel, we've been going to Herschel just about every year, but last year we didn't go again because it was too high water. Keep getting high water, and now it really changed. Herschel Island is really changed. You flood large every year now. Every year it's flooding. Every year. Because that time we never used to flood, because we used to just, walk across. Now you can't. You got to go all the way around, try to go up. Even in a graveyard, you can't walk around there with rubber boots or anything now. It's lots of water. As me and my bunnick, when we were at Herschel, my bunnick said, I'm going to go check those graves. I said, I was just walking around the beach, and Hershey went up. He tried to go up, he couldn't go up. He had rubber boots up to here, but he couldn't make it to the graveyard. Too much water.
You remember Herschel back when there were still people there?
Mm-hmm. They used to have three RCMP down there all the time. Gee, must be about, before my dad passed away, about 1957, somewhere around there, my dad passed away. And RCMP was still there, three of them, three RCMP all the time. And they used to, help each other, make sure everybody got everything. And if they're going to order something from town, when RCMP going to get a plane, they used to tell my dad they're going to order some stuff. So when my dad get just start ordering stuff, what do you need in wintertime? Just trade with fur all the time. Never used one. It's just trade with fur, and they get what they need. Cases by cases, they used to send them down. It used to be good. Cheap too that time, huh? There he used to really talk to us, you know, teach us how everything gonna change. He used to talk to us. Him and Foster Allen, with his family, they used to come to us, and they used to, when we sit, you know, after we have supper and that, we sit around in there, and they start telling us what's going to happen, and he used to tell us, my dad used to tell us, he said we wouldn't be cutting wood, we wouldn't be getting ice, we wouldn't be making dog pot. In my mind, because I can't answer him, huh? In my mind I used to say, how are we going to do that? Now I know. You know, whatever they tell us, they really come true. Whatever they tell us, what's going to change, sure enough. Because we used to stack up woods, ice, every year, every fall. Before the ice get too thick, we used to pile up ice steady from the lakes and pile lots of woods and lots of hunting seals, fish, caribous. And there's two old couples, we used to help them pile wood and get them ice. Because here, old Roland used to have warehouse, used to fill it up with ice. Because we used to help them so much with dog team, back and forth. And that's how my dad used to teach us and tell us. He used to tell us we wouldn't be using, you know, we're gonna live like, we wouldn't do anything in our houses. He said we're just gonna sitting in a warm house. He never used to tell us how, but he used to tell us we're just gonna sit around and bright lights. And now I just could picture my dad when they telling me what he used to tell us. In my mind, I used to answer him, how are we going to do that? Now I know. Now I know.
He had knowledge of how things were going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You ever figured out how?
Well, I really figured it out now. Even my mom used to tell us that. My mom used to tell us, you know, babies are born long ago. You wait for the baby to put his head up about a year, 1 year. They start putting their heads up. Nowadays, my mom, before he passed away, he told us, now baby's gonna start growing like plants. Fast, he said. Now, the baby's born, it's just about walking. That's what my mom used to tell us. You know, and they don't stay baby long now. They grow so fast.
So that's another thing.
Yeah. And my mom used to tell us, she said, baby's gonna grow like plants nowadays, sure enough. Now I believe just believe what they say now. Because it's so different. We used to make babies sit down and try to make them sit down and they still can't keep their heads up. 1 year later, finally they start moving their heads around. Now when they're born, their babies are, right now, you running around. So different. Fasa, it really changed everything.
Wow, I never did hear it like that.
You know, it's just same thing as land. That's what's happening in land. Even our rivers are just dry up in fall time. You can't go through them. Just think the schooners used to go through them. Now even little boats can't go through them. So much change. Well, I couldn't stay down there. I stayed down there for another 2 more years after my dad, of course, passed away with my aunties and my uncles. I tried to stay down there, I couldn't. So 1959 I moved to Aklavik. I moved with my dad and them. And since that time I go to Herschel and Ptarmigan Bay. When we used to be with my dad at Christmas time, before Christmas, we used to go to Border Island with dog team, to Alaska. With dog team, he used to take us to Border Island. My dad and them, with about maybe 4 or 5 teams, goes to Border Island for Christmas. You used to play game every night. Everybody just have fun till after New Year's. It used to be so good. You know, I could just picture what they do, and you know, it used to be in a big building. We used to just sit around and adults are just playing game and play game every night. Drum dancing. They used to have fun. Non-stop right from Christmas to after New Year's. Go steady. And after New Year's, when everything is done, we used to go back to... It takes us about like 2 days with dog team to Herschel and Ptarmigan Bay. That's how long it used to take us back. Take our time, you know, don't rush.
I just love how you describe the way it's like the changes and how when you were young listening to the elders, you never thought to, you listened to what they say.
Mm-hmm. I listened.
And like you said, you never asked them how, but over time, everything they said started, it happened.
Yeah, we don't ask questions, we don't answer them. Once they tell us what to do, we do it right now, we get up. We don't say what do you gotta do. As soon as they tell us right now, we out. We gotta do it right now. You can't answer. Even our oldest brothers, oldest sisters, we don't answer them. They tell us to do things, we do it. That's how we were raised up. Well, that's how I was raised up anyway. To this day, I always talk to my kids and my grandkids. I always talk to them, and you know, long ago we never lived like that. God, we don't answer. We just listen what they tell us to do. To this day, I'm so glad my kids don't answer me. Even my grandkids wouldn't answer me to this day, so far. It's pretty good to say, listen.
Wow.
Yeah. Because my youngest granddaughter is got a little one now, at 2 years old. You can't say no, you can't answer them. Once they tell you something, you do it right now. We don't sit around. No matter who it is. That's how we were taught, that's how it is. That's how I was raised up.
One I was told was that you shared with everybody.
Yeah.
You tried to share, yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do. They share with everybody. They don't leave anybody out. If they get like animals, or when they make something, they share with everybody. Everybody. They don't leave anybody out. Even how far they are, they still share with them. They don't say, you can't have this, you can't do this. They don't say that. They help each other. Left and right, just like we used to be so good, you know. Used to be so nice. Daytime we do everything. In evening, all we do is just sit around and listen to stories and listen to them when they're unipkak and everything. Used to be just nice. Sometimes my dad in Foster Island, my dad would be laying down on this side and I'm laying beside him, and Foster Island is on that side. They used to start singing drum dancing songs. I used to just listen to them. I used to just love listening to their stories and their song when I was growing up. It used to be so nice. There's not only us in there, sometimes we'll just have like full house. You know, people from next door. You just don't have one house. People come from next door and they come around and sit around. They do lots of stories and lots of, they talk to each other. And some days they tell us, you know, when just straight elders, they tell us when it's nice out, they get somebody to watch us outside and they tell us to go play out, we go play out. And just elders is in there for like hours. And us we playing out and having fun and, you know, not like street light, just outside like that. When it gets real moonlight, it's really nice, it's so bright, you know. Used to be so good. Nowadays, wind come no time. Long ago, nobody really used to blow like this. Now, it's really different. We do a lot of sewing, too. We do a lot of sewing in evenings. My auntie do a lot of sewing, and Katie Rowland. You know, ladies, they tan caribou skin, seal skin, wolves, anything. They make clothes. I used to have, you know, caribou fall time, the fur is so thin. At the time we start getting caribou just to make ski pants. We used to use caribou skin ski pants. Me, I don't like sealskin ski pants. I rather have caribou. And we make parkas with them. Parkas inside or outside the fur. Right here. And right there they put it on white, and right there they put white. And Katie Rowland, if we make parky, you know, I always help her with everything. She have, like we have squirrels parky, he'll have real nice caps, just like seals trimming, and wolverine strips hanging down in her back. Just fancy in the bottom, see sealskin trimming, just like delta trim.
It was survival then, clothing, working on your animals?
All the time. Fall time, most of the time we get caribou before the fur get too thick. Mostly caribou we use for ishik dogs, and when we're gonna do with sealskin, we just take the fur out and you make waterproof shoes with them. I used to help Katie Rowland and my auntie do that all the time. Helped them so much. I still know how to do that.
Still know how? You still remember?
I could do it right now in like making sealskin shoes, but too much work for me now. I sew lots, but I never really sew with seals. Every year we have, like every year, a new one. And when the fur gets thick, we use them for bed, for mattress. When the fur gets thick, I used to have, those sheep skins. I used to have that kind for blankets. Maybe about four of them. Put them together, just like pick. But we have to tan them before you use them.
How long did that process take back then?
Well, that time it never, it don't take long, because we get so used to it, so used to tanning. We use igun to tan, and they used Katie Rowland used to use caribou brains. Caribou brains after he cooked the skin, and he mix it up, put it on the caribou skin, and we start tanning it. It's just soft. Really easy to sew and just white. It used to be so nice. I just could picture how he does it. It used to be so nice. When he's sewing, he was always sewing, is telling stories, and said this is how his parents used to teach them too, and he used to tell us, me and my aunties. I had about maybe 3 aunties down there, and my uncles. And we could sit around and sew and tan. We just don't, just do it once, and after we scrape it, we wet it and put it away for a night, and next day we start working with it. That's how when we start making clothes, and start cutting them out with, they just use little ulus all the time to cut everything with ulu. And they used to use ulu to make, when they're going to make a kudok, they just like grinding meat. That's what they used to do. It used to be good. They do lots of trapping all the time for foxes, any kind of animals. And some years you don't really see caribou. Some years you don't really see caribou. They have to go in land to around firs, or trees and willows, and they go and moose or sheep. That's what they used to do. Well, most of the time they're get ducks, muskrats, and sometimes they get like, in winter time, most of the time, some people see them lynx. They said they're just like rabbits, but I don't know. And so that's what we used to do, is muskrats and ducks, birds, rabbits. That's what we used to hunt most of the time. There used to be so much rabbits. Now there's hardly any rabbits right now. Lots of changes too, especially if where you used to trap. You can't even trap where you used to trap anymore. Some lakes are bad. You got to look for certain lakes. Some of them the lake could be just black with push-ups, and it's tough. It's not easy to get into the push-up.
You want to explain that
The
process?
what he does is we always sharpen the space shovels, because we got chisels, scoop, traps. He used space shovel, sharpen it just like her chisel. That's what he used for opening push-up all the time, because some of those push-ups are just hard, so hard to open. And her too, he worked so hard while I'm just sitting around in a sled or walking around there. And now my other grand is starting to help her, is pretty good. He have like chisel, scoop, traps, and space shovel. And when they open push-ups, if they got water, he chiseled it down. The hole is right there, and he's got to chisel it down so make sure the trap is in the water. Right down to the water, and when the rat come up or something, caught right there. It's not like this way. It's got to be slanted down like that. That's how he fixes it. That's how I teach her how to trap. And that's what he does. After he did that, he cleaned the whole push-up, clean it, make sure he cover it up good. And now he's starting to teach Vernon how to trap now. Him too, he's starting to learn the way my babe does it. And he just copies, because he was small when he used to follow it. He just copied my Desiree. Whatever he have in his skidoo, he always start putting things in his skidoo, what Desiree have in his skidoo. And then one day he told him, "How come you just copy me?" And Vernon told him, "Well, I could learn." Now he's pretty good. He really teach him good. Make him stretch rats and take the rats out of the stretchers. It's pretty good. And they make lots of these, willows, little willows, to put them, when you stretch rats, they just put them willows onto them so that they'd be easy to come off. That's what they do too. They're just, when they trap. They just don't stretch them and hang them like that. If you set them like in afternoon, early in afternoon, he go look at them like it was about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, he start looking at them in evenings and in the mornings, like maybe 9:30 in the morning. You just know what time the rat's going to be live, because they always live around going to 10 when they get caught in the mornings. No, I just skin them for her, honey. I do skinning for her. But I don't stretch rats, he just stretch rats. Stretch rats and take them off herself.
How long do you stretch a rat for?
Like, it was still going all the time. It's maybe just about 2 nights the rats could be dry. About that time you'd always start taking them off. Last year he did pretty good. Now he just can't wait to go trapping again in March. Well, I used to, before I used to take like kids out from school. I used to take kids out and we used to do trapping or just go down there to haul wood, ice, and daily, what they do every day. In the evening when we're done, they just sit around and they start writing what they do daily. That's what they used to do. To this day, those boys, they still ask me, you still take kids out? And I never take kids out for a long time. Some of them just love cooking too, you know. Pretty good. They used to be pretty good. They ask lots of questions. And we've done everything they used to tell me. You're going to sit around and we're going to sit down and listen when you're telling stories. They used to tell me that. Used to be good, you know, they just love cooking, and some of them love cooking and some of them don't really bother, but they're good workers when they're in a bush.
Everybody has their talent.
Mm-hmm. They do everything, like, you know, to teach them what to do. Some of them, when they first go out, some of them barely could split woods. But maybe after a day or 2 days, they're good at it and they just love doing that. You know, there's so much kids in town. They just don't take them out. They're pretty good out in the bush. They should really, you know, take kids out on the land and let them do things. That's what they're like. Not only kids, but like adults or something like that. Just take them out on the land and let them do things, and they're pretty good. They just love working too, you know. But just nobody take anybody out nowadays. You know, when you like, some people get real raw skins. My mom used those willows, the one that get red. They take the top off first and the second layer, they take it off and they put it in a bucket with water, and it, you know, it just get red. And that's what my mom used to use for healing when it get raw skin. Just like rash. That's what they used to use all the time, my mom.
Spruce gum's another one.
Yeah, that one is good. That one is good, that tree gum. We use that clear tree gum lots, me and my babe, when she's trapping, because it hands get split up sometime, get cold and on his trapping, when he used rubber gloves too much. And he could just kill it afterward and put it on, bandage it. Next day is good. He used that lots, my baby, when he trap.
Oh, that's so, I like that. Very cool. Yeah, I'm good. Everybody, thank you.
Yeah,
Quyanaq
ナムニ